love books so much. I can't even begin to explain it. Hello my dear friends, how are you doing? It's Kiki. A few times in my life I've been so impressed with a book and so touched by it, and this is one of those books. The Catcher in the Rye. This is my first review in English ever on this channel, and even on my ASMR channel I don't think I ever made book reviews, but I really felt compelled to do it because this is such a great book. And I found it because I was looking for, you know, the best novels you should read in your lifetime. You know, those lists like 100 books to read before you die sort of things. And I came up with my own list of books that I haven't read that I want to read this spring. And I created a special spring project. It's like a book marathon, and I chose many interesting books that I'm going to be talking about when I finish them. But it's like a big tower of books, and obviously you do not have to buy the books. You can rent the books, you can borrow them from a friend, you can go to the library, you can find, you know, the ebook versions or free versions online. You don't need to buy books. I'm just so obsessed with books. I love books and I want to have them, you know. So this one, I always saw it, you know, in my childhood as one of those classic books, but I thought it was way older than it is, and for some reason I never had a chance to read it. And then as I was doing some research for my book marathon and I was looking for very good books, I found this one and I thought, okay, I should give it a go. I only knew that it was a good book. I didn't know anything about the story other than the protagonist is an adolescent with a troubled mind, and I didn't know anything about the author at all, and I decided not to do any sort of research about the author because that influences me for some reason, in a good and in a negative way. It can really affect me to know the author's life, and so I didn't want to, you know, have any idea about this book, any preconcepts or anything like that. So I started it. And believe me, just the fact that I have a list and that I want to make a conscious effort to read a little bit every day just made a huge difference. And one of my major inspirations for this marathon is my friend Minxlora123, because she reads literally every single day. She reads lots of books, and I admire her so much. And this list is really working for me. By the way, I read this book, and at the beginning I wasn't so sure about it. I was, you know, wondering, why is this book so special? And one thing that really surprised me is that when you are getting a bit bored and you don't really understand what this story is all about, boom, you get a sentence, a single sentence that changes everything. And you're like, it's like I don't know, it's like a bucket of cold water. So basically the entire narration is a sort of stream of consciousness that takes place in 3 days time. And you'll find that the language is so peculiar, and you will sometimes read it out loud like I did it. I love this book, I really did. You'll get that reference once you read the book. I started getting passionate about the way the protagonist speaks for some reason. I find it so peculiar, and you get to understand that so many things we went through as teenagers were the same really in the 50s and probably in the 40s and in the 30s and in the 20s. So we all go through the same things, and I felt so understood by this character. And you know, when I got towards the end, I was so afraid to read, you know, the entire story and see how it ended, because I got, you know, so fond of the protagonist, and I didn't know if I would like the end. But I think you will really love this book. And there is one passage that really impressed me, and this is not spoiler because it doesn't really have to do with anything. You can't really guess anything from this passage, but I want to read it to you. So among other things, you'll find that you're not the first person who was ever confused and frightened and even sickened by human behavior. You're by no means alone on that score. You'll be excited and stimulated to know. Many, many men have been just as troubled morally and spiritually as you are right now. Happily, some of them kept records of their troubles. You will learn from them, if you want to. Just as someday, if you have something to offer, someone will learn something from you. It's a beautiful reciprocal arrangement, and it isn't education, it's history, it's poetry. Oh my god, shivers. Seriously, I just love this book so much. And as far as I know, there are no sequels to this book, but there are other books by J.D. Salinger. You have it here. So I bought one, which is called For Esme with Love and Squalor. And I am really curious about, other books by Salinger. And I don't know what to say about this book. It's so haunting for some reason. The main character is called Holden Caulfield, and he's 17. You'll find that he's so psychologically complex. It's fascinating, and I could see how he resembled me in so many ways, and I could relate to him. And I found myself psychoanalyzing Holden so many times in the narration. As I said, I grew fond of the way he speaks and the way he behaves, and he's so special. So I think you will really, really love this book. I would really recommend that you read it, and I will see if I can find a free version for you somewhere, because it's a classic. I mean, it's a classic book. It's considered to be a classic. I don't know if it's in the literary canon, to be honest. I think so. Harold Bloom's canon. I can't remember, but I think it didn't make it, because Harold Bloom made this list of 21 most influential authors, and I don't think Salinger is in it, but I have to Google it now. Anyways, this is the first step, a small step for the world, but a big, big step for me. And I hope I can get, through my list of books. Books can really change your life. So if you have any titles, any type of book, it doesn't have to be fiction. And I want to make a video about fiction, because how real is fiction and how fictionable are we? You know what I mean? Like, if we say that characters are not real, then how real are we? Because I think books are mirrors where we can basically look at ourselves inside the books. Even if the character doesn't behave like us, even if the book doesn't think the way we do, books are still mirrors, and we can find many things about ourselves inside the books. So I really want to talk about fiction, how important and real fiction is. But that's for another time. It's quite a philosophical thing to say, actually, but that's how I feel about books. And I think books can change your life, and this one really did change mine for some reason, because you feel so understood when you read a book that resonates with you. This book might not resonate with you, but it might teach you something. It might teach you to see the world with another person's eyes. And I think people like Holden truly exist. And I put myself in this, in this category. I might not share everything Holden says or does, but I really did feel like he did many times in my life. And yeah, so if you have a book and you want to suggest it because it really, resonated with you, please do so and leave a comment, because maybe it can help more people than you know. Or if you want to make your own list, please join my book marathon. You can even choose to read, 2 books over the spring, but it's just about, making time, even 5 minutes of your day, to read books. And this idea came to me because I took a train a few weeks ago, and I was traveling across the country, And for the first time in a long time, I didn't have any internet connection, and I could read my book in peace. And I believe that technological devices really distract us, and even, you know, activities, work, whatever, but I think technology really distracts us and keeps us from reading books. So I was stuck in a train for a few hours, you know, and I read the book, and I was halfway through by the time I reached my destination. And when I took the train back, I finished the book, and I thought, you know what? I'm not reading because I don't make the conscious effort to find time, or I don't read as much as I want to. I always read, but some days, you know, I feel tired and I make excuses and I don't read, even 5 minutes. But now I have this determination, and I have this special project, and I want to do it every single day. I don't know if you can see that I'm so passionate about this, and I'm speaking so fast, but yeah, if you want to join me, you only need to choose a few books, and as I said, they don't have to be fiction. They can be manuals, they can be, you know, books with quotes, whatever. Just make a list and keep it with you. Every single time you finish a book, you tick it like that, and at the end of the giveaway, if, you know, more than, you know, 5 people join me, I will do like a giveaway. And I have a book I want to give away. It's this one, because I have an extra copy, and it's sorry, it's at the very bottom of my tower. Whoop. The smell of books, oh, it's the most heavenly thing in the whole world. One day I will open a bookshop. You wait and see. I will do it. And I will be at the bookshop every single day. And yeah, I'm a bookworm. I really am. Ta-da, quote, reference, actually. You will understand. But yeah, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I have 2 copies of this book, and I want to give away one. So if you want to join my spring book marathon, I will give away this book at the end of it, and maybe I will add more titles, depending on how many people participate. But oh my guys, I love books so much. I can't even begin to explain it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please tell me if you want to see more reviews on this channel, and if you enjoyed this one, and please recommend me some books, and the ones that really stuck with you, please. Thank you so much. I love you all, and see you next time. Bye bye. Meow.